Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In our last episode, we were working on rubber stuff on trains, and we're going to continue doing that. So I've got coffee, it's a good day so far, and we're going to see if we can get this all finished. So, let's see, what do we have here? We got latex needing to go into the rubber factory, and we're also gonna have to get the slabs and stuff done. So, I think we had all the buildings we needed for it. We already did that one. So now we need these ones, making the latex slabs. These feeding into those. And these feeding into those. Okay. So, probably all three of these, and they're gonna have to be spaced out at least by one because of this part. And then we've got HPFs directly feeding them. And we'll rotate those. And then where's the nearest water? Nearest water is somewhere here. So that'll turn a corner there. Whoa, do you guys see this? That's bad. That's the kind of stuff that'll ruin your factory later. You know, a belt gets built on top of it, and before you know it, something's clogged up. Some filter, some fancy combinator situation just got completely blasted by having a random item in a chest. You know, that sort of thing is likely to happen. Okay, this is the one we need to be attached to these. We'll do that, and then... It doesn't really line up because of this building. So we're gonna have to squiggle... Excuse me. I guess I need more coffee. We're gonna have to squiggle up here to there. So there's formic, sodium alginate, and then the creamy latex, which comes from 4 washers, which needs sap and limestone. So I'll put those there. And that way we can run limestone and stone down the middle or something. I haven't figured it out exactly yet. Alright, water's hooked up. So I'm thinking stone and limestone. Like this. And then we can feed stone and limestone in. I assume the rate is pretty small. Yeah, 0.25. And then the limestone into these guys is closer to 1 per second, so we'll need long inserters. So there's that. And then each one is going to make a very small amount of sodium alginate for the latex slab, so that gets fed in. And then here, we want one that turns that way to connect to there, and then it goes over here. And then we need a T-junction here, which means this is not a good spot. Feed it like that. Okay, so that part's done. We need limestone on here and stone on here, and then we need seaweed for this one only. So maybe we can do some underground situation for seaweed. And then sap can come over here. Honestly, it can probably just do this. And then we can feed sap onto these guys. And so sap goes right. So that'll be a sap and seaweed enabled belt there. Which unfortunately means we're gonna have to switch around our filters here. I need sap and seaweed on the same one, and then stone and limestone on the same one. So seaweed, sap, and then your limestone and stone. Is that the right stone? I think that's the correct stone. Okay, and then we also haven't requested stone, unfortunately. I just realized we're gonna have a problem here. Now, I also am very curious, what happens if you have too many stacks of things? I gotta get past 48 stacks. Like, does stuff get deleted? Or does it... Okay, good. I was hoping it would do that. It distributes it properly. Anyway, yeah, we needed to upgrade that because now we also need a bunch of stacks of stone. That's the wrong stone. I don't know why it always jumps to that one, to be honest. But it's annoying. 2.5 a second of stone as well, so let's go like 23 stacks. Get a little bit more of a buffer. And then, yeah, so now that we've got one going like that, and we can do limestone. Wait a second. What happened there? I don't know, I did something wrong. Okay. That's all set up. I don't know if stone is on the way, because I don't know if we're providing stone yet properly. Doesn't look like it. Oh, we just got some. Perfect. Perfection. Okay. We're really close now at this point. So now it's the one with seaweed on it. That's gonna be the one with seaweed and sap on it, which is the one that needs to connect to here. But we're just gonna have to take a sec and do this real quick until it's correct. And then this one is gonna be, oh, we're out of belts. Well, that's inconvenient. Go grab some more of those. Yoink. Perfect. That should last me a minute. All right, and then this is still the wrong stuff. Okay. And this one will attach to here. Okay, are we done yet? Jeez, this is taking a while. There we go. There's the switcheroo. Belts fit a lot of items on them. I think we underestimate it when we look at it. Like, it looks like a lot, but it doesn't look like 500, you know, a lot. Alright, so this one is good to go. And that one's good to go. Yeah, I figured that might be a problem. This new car driving system is really throwing me off. I'm not even sure if I want to get used to it or if I should stop trying. Ah! I can't stop. Did I just destroy something? Ah, that got damaged. But where's the health bar? Does the health bar not show properly when it's behind a sprite? Apparently. Alright, well anyway. Hook those up. And let's see if it all works. I probably forgot something. In fact, I know I forgot something. That water needs to also be hooked up here. Okay, so there's creamy latex. Sodium alginate. Oh, geez. It needs 1.8 a second from these. I didn't realize we needed so much. Uh-oh. Okay, that's just a power pole. Alright, there we go. So I should keep those guys running. Now, technically, we don't need all of them. We only need 2.5 of them, so it's each one can run at like 80% or whatever. But I still think we would need 2 inserters. Okay, and then the latex slabs could almost be direct fed. It would be a little weird. So we just won't. And we'll just do the thing. I don't generally like to do this, but it does work. It just weirds me out. I think a lot of you probably agree, where you're like, you're feeding some of the buildings onto the belt that's down past some of the other buildings, but like ratio wise, you know, like one of these buildings is more than enough for one of these, and by the time we get to the second one of these, we've already got 2 of them running, and then 2 is enough for 3. Actually, wait, is 2 enough for 3? What's the ratio here? 3 to 5? Hold on. I can't imagine that we would need this one to be able to feed that one. The ratio is, it's exactly 1 to 2. But we're more than fine. But if it was 3 to 5, that would mean we need 0.6 of one of these per one of these. So by the time we get to the third one, we would need 1.8 of them. So even that would work okay, because there would be 1.8 up here, technically more than 1.8. 2.0 of the buildings are up here, and so that would be enough to feed the first 3, and by the time you get to the 4th and you need 2.4 of them, now you've got all 3 feeding. So this would work even if we needed all 3 of these buildings running constantly. Anyway, that is the latex, and I mean, that's it. We're good to go. Rubber is properly plugged in. The only weird thing is the titanium. This guy's gonna have to, you know what, I'm just gonna belt over titanium. I don't really want to, but I don't have titanium on trains yet, and I'm not quite ready to put it on trains because I want to improve the production of it when we do that. And I feel like I'm still a long way from improving titanium production. Like, I just don't need it yet. And I just don't have a need Or a reason, I guess is a better word. I don't have a reason for it. I have a need for everything, but do I have a reason for it? Is a different question. Unfortunately, what I might have to do is something like I need a Renai transportation thrower inserter to just throw it over the building. That's what I need. No, we'll just do this. Here, how about I actually just go next to this plastic belt, and then I can go up. And then the caravan doesn't have to worry about titanium anymore. And we need to pull some titanium off to go this way. This is a mess. Titanium plates. Onto this belt. Goes up here. Goes over here. Which needs to avoid Naius. Here we can frame you in titanium. And then go over here and up to there. All right. So now titanium's direct fed into the rubber production. Well, I guess the polybutadiene production, which should probably go on belts at some point as well. So now we're gonna take out titanium, and we're just gonna load. We're just gonna move sets of, let's say 600 rubber now that or even 800 now that we've increased production. And now I can just do this, let it buffer a bit more. Whoa, oh my gosh, map view. Map view is an interesting bear. I know I already complained about it in a previous episode recently, so I won't do it again. But I will just say I'm not very good at map view. I will own that, like, a lot of it is user error and just inexperience, because it's changed since how it used to be. I only played Space Age once, and I'm just still not quite used to how it all works. Alright, do we need to do anything else? I don't think so. It would be nice to get rid of all our seaweed if we can. Oh, we're out of stone. Okay, well, it's probably as good a time as any to put stone on the train network. Because I don't think we're actually doing that yet. That's really bad that that's unpowered. I don't know when I unpowered that. Doesn't seem to have ruined anything yet, but I bet it would have. Anyway, so stone on trains. Oh, geez. Oh, we've got a little bit of a problem. We need to go down there. Yeah, let's do stone on trains. Because right now we have byproduct stone from some process that we did really early on that I can't remember what it was. What was it? It was... Oh, it's our niobium situation. But that's it, right? And so... Oh no. Let's not leave Tim behind today. Yeah, the hard thing about it is hitting the brakes. like, it's easy to drive the direction you want with this new control scheme, but what's hard is when you're trying to stop. Like, if you're going this direction, to stop, you have to, like, hit both of the opposite keys, and that's just not very... At least for all the video games I've played, whatever you need to do there is not baked into my muscle memory. You know, going diagonal, but then hitting the other two diagonals to slow down, like, that's not in my muscle memory. Not at all. So that is feeling very weird. Oh yeah, this is my landfill production. That's right. Okay, let's get rid of some trees here. And I can't believe we already mined out some of these. This is a 10 million patch. I wonder if it's just because we were on the edges, and these never had that much anyway. Because, I mean, even at full rate, we've only been getting 15 items a second. Oh, I guess now we're getting 30 items? Well, are we getting 30 items a second? Because this creates stone and keratin, I actually don't know how the drill stacking works. Are they stacking it every time? It actually seems like they are, which is good. That's very good for me. That's actually a huge boon. Very big help to me. Yeah, I guess these ones just never had that much to go on in the first place. That was part of the problem. So... Anyway, so what do we want to do here? I guess... Let me just kind of back this up a little bit. And we'll get a couple more going. None of those would run. Okay, so then... How fast? I mean, one of these makes over 5 items a second. That's nuts. But it is stacked, so we do still need 3 on each side. I mean, let's just do that for one belt. And this. For the other. And they're not going to be totally full, but we built this for not needing 30 of each a second, so we should be okay. Like, this one has too many on one side. Is there an easy way to maneuver this? Probably. I could do this. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. And this side is for sure going to run out before the other side. I mean, that one has 504,000. Yeah, most of the density's in the middle here. Around the edges, it's pretty low, like 2K, 4K. In the middle, it's like 50K per tile. Anyway, all that to say, we are getting a lot of stone because of the stacking. So, landfill is still being produced at a very large amount. Landfillita has delivered how much landfill? Wait, what? Something is wrong. Oh my god. Sure. Let's stop at how many thousand landfill is that? 30,000 landfill, 36,000 landfill. Yeah, let's stop at 36,000 landfill. That sounds reasonable to me. Oh my gosh, we've made a lot of landfill. Well, that's a good problem to have, I guess. All this shale oil being wasted is also obviously a shame. A shame. We will need to put that on trains at some point. And then I guess for now, we want excess stone going towards a train station. I could put one there. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Pretty good spot for it. Take a while to get built, but that's okay. Okay, get the junction plugged in, and then that'll be stone being provided. Let's see, I actually can switch this to be just a weak side provider extension. No! Stop it. And I mean, at least for now, I don't need a requester over here. I can certainly build extensions later if we want to. But yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a super basic stone provide. I'm going to call it stone mine provide just to make sure we know that this is a stone mine. And I mean, we want it to be on priority 0, I think, right? I mean, it feels weird, but like, whenever there's a byproduct station, we set it on a high priority. So, at least I think we do. Are we doing that? Where's my super trasher? I feel like it's probably wrong. Station priority 1? Yeah, no, that needs to be like 10 by default. And what about the priority of this one? So when it goes onto channel 2, we've now made it available to the side product and trasher network. So when you're available to the side product and trasher network, the requesters have different priorities. So the trashers have the lowest priority and the side product makers have higher priority, but still low priority in case, you know, another regular station came online. So like -10 instead of -50 for side product makers. Full trashers have -50. So then the question is, does the provider of a super trasher need to have any particular priority? Yeah, it should also be 10. Just because whatever's happening, we would never want the priority of this being provided to match the priority of a normal production of stone. And there could be scenarios... No, I guess that's the whole point of a side product. Never mind. I was gonna say there could be scenarios where I actually want to guarantee production for side products, but in that case, it's a main product. And it should be on channel 1, not channel 2. So that's never gonna happen, I don't think. This one's the most important one, to make sure that this has a higher priority to provide stone away compared to the stone mine. Anyway. So yeah, all that to say the stone mine can be on priority 0, that's fine. And yeah, we'll just, I'll just split this, because we have plenty of landfill. So we'll send half of it over here. And this is the kind of thing that probably needs to buffer a little bit. So let's do a little bit of that action. Oop, wait. Oh, you can't do blueprint versions and regular versions. That's really fair. You know, now that I think about it, that's really fair. Don't need that connected. This is a single provider. Well, I guess it's more of a maximum provide than a single provider issue. Sometimes on single providers, I still want to limit how much I put. Anyway, stone mine provide only. None of that matters. No locked slots. 2 loaders. Yeah, this all looks good. So once this gets built, which will take probably a while, you know what I should put on my list is to close bot network gaps. We want to do that at some point. But yeah, stone on trains, I'm actually going to check off the list, because even though it's not, like, done, it's done, you know? Does that make any sense? It still feels weird how much Keragen I've wasted. I don't want to think about it. What else can shale oil get made into at this point? Because we've been doing this recipe. But later we can turn it into fuel oil? Oh my. No, never mind, that doesn't show up. It's a lie. That recipe's a lie. You can weirdly turn it into nitrogen by desulfurizing it with nickel. It's such a weird way to make nitrogen. This one is probably the most useful. If you have a good amount of molybdenum, you can just swim in ammonia with molybdenum as a catalyst. And then, yeah, it's one of the ways to make olefins with nichrome. I think there were 2 ways to do that. But yeah, it's really the condensates, you know, that you end up turning into stuff, which we can use. BTX has a good fuel value. Refined natural gas is necessary for a lot of things. I mean, there's just so much you can do. You can turn refined natural gas back into condensates and naphtha if you want to. What a crazy... I think we looked at that actually back in the day. In tailings, BTX is used to make benzene with an oxalate or ethylene with an oxalate catalyst. Or methane. Wow. Benzene, ethylene, or methane. Or xylanol. You can make 4 different fluids with an oxalate catalyst. Xylanol. You can just make it straight from tar, but at a very low ratio. Benzene and aromatics. Hey, that's the same as something else. Isn't there another benzene plus aromatics recipe? No, sorry. It's coal water slurry creates aromatics and benzene. So then that means coal water slurry is a good way to make xylanol. It's not the exact ratio, but still. And that means xylanol can be made from tailings, because coal water slurry is just 5:3 tailings ratio. So anyway, all that to say, tailings can be made into xylanol. We learned something. Did we need to learn that today? No. We probably have months before that's going to matter. But we did learn it. Now, my alarm's still not going off. I just want to say that's a bummer. That is a bummer. I was also reminded that there are lots of different categories of sound. You can just have it make that sound constantly. Oh gosh. That feels like one of the like unquality of life mods where it removes all the sounds except for this one. This is, if you ever want alarms, this is the only sound they can make. That would be hilarious. You know, okay, these are all just notes. Oh, that's like the train sound. Oh, that was a creepy little ditty I just played on accident. Okay, so anyway, we need to go. Okay, I think I like the new driving system, I'm not gonna lie. It's weird, but I think I like it. It just feels relatively easy to get where I want to go. Oop. I may have destroyed something. Sorry. Anyway. It's easy to get where I want to go. It's easy to run into things. That is very much true. Okay, so what else are we doing in this episode? We got stone on trains, though it's still a little ways away from actually finishing. Can I fit? You know I can. I need charging stations. Why don't I put that up there? And then that'll get charging stations all the way up to here, which will help. Okay, anyway, what are we doing? What are we doing next? Crasher and provider station? Wait, what? This is a main provide station, isn't it? Right. Yeah, so our excess sodium hydroxide needs to go onto trains. I don't want to do that right now. Radar. Our to-do list we haven't been keeping up with it. What's actually next? Because all of this was in service of arcades eventually. That was kind of like the last time we looked at big tech jumps was arcades, and this is how we got to Ulrich's, and then Vrauk Food, and then we did Vrauk Mark II, and then rubber came from me thinking about latex, maybe? I don't remember exactly why we did rubber. We knew we needed to eventually. I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, I think natural gas is now the only thing between me and arcades. Okay, I can live with that. We're on the way to arcades, baby. Sweet. I'm scared, but you know, here, this needs more emphasis. There we go. That more summarizes my feelings. Okay, now the apiary hydrocarbon plant is expensive. It requires automated factories. Of course it does. Of course it freaking does. And then we will need Tufra eventually, but I don't need it yet, and I don't even know what exactly I need it for. There's a chance we don't need it for Pi2 science. So as much as I do just want to put it on the to-do list because of the argument of, well, we'll need them all eventually, I think in this case I'm going to leave it off the to-do list for now. And I need some automated factories. I'm gonna let that go up to 20 as well, because it's gonna become an ingredient in more and more things. Okay, and I'm out of small parts. Alright, and I ended up with keratin in my inventory. A lot of stone, some gravel, some logs. Alright. And then I think for now 6 is a good amount, and I'll get more steel and glass. And aluminum. Lead. 10. Copper could use a bit more. Okay. So we've got those. We're gonna need some repro complexes. I need concrete, which I should have over here somewhere. Haven't needed more of that in a long time. So I'll get a few repro complexes. We'll get another stone brick going, which we should have right here. And then, what else do we need for this process? I mean, some HPFs and some casting units. We're gonna need hot air. And then natural gas. Right. So now natural gas is actually a little bit of a thing. Okay. So what I'll do is I will put right here F providers. I guess that one can be an F provider. And you're gonna provide tar and natural gas. And then we're gonna need a second one of these right here. Can't rotate them. You know, I think that's okay. I just need to remember to rotate them. Why does that have a request threshold? Oh no. Oh no. I ended up with 2 of the same blueprint. Okay, that's bad. So my F provider is the correct blueprint. What about the F requester? That's the F trasher. Okay, so this is the fluid requester blueprint. That's what this one is. Those pumps are going out, right? Can't see it. Yeah, those pumps are going out. This is the requester. The provider... Yeah, we even parameterized the request. Wait, but... I've confused myself. This is the F Trasher extension. Okay, so I've just completely lost my fluid provider blueprint, apparently. I screwed it up at some point. Got it. Okay, that's fine, I think. So this is priority 10. We're never gonna need so many priorities. Is this... Okay, what I'm gonna do, just to make sure we don't screw something, I'm gonna paste that over. Leave it on parameter 0. Then I'm gonna change this to 10. Then I'm gonna do new blueprint, new contents. Just to make sure we don't accidentally, like, I didn't want to accidentally change something and then have it be wrong. But yeah, I seem to have lost my fluid provider blueprint somewhere in all of this. So that's unfortunate. And this is the one where they're just filtered. The requester, they're just filtered. It's the provider that they need to be enabled based on the request, which is what this one's doing. So this is the closest we have to a provider, but it is not actually exactly doing the providing. This should just be on channel 1, but it's priority 0. And then we'll add in the other pumps that default to the strong side, which is which direction? To the right. I'm in map view, so things aren't actually getting built. So those go that way. Okay. And then these all need to be hooked up. I decided I didn't want 3 tanks, but I will add in the pumps and pipes, because those are cheap, and that way all we need to do to add in more provided fluids is add in more tanks. So that part's easy enough. And these are the ones that are enabled disabled based on parameter 0 being negative, 1 being negative, or 2 being negative. And those are coming from the output of thing. And then the input is what's in the tank, and then the request. Sorry, this is a provider. There is no request threshold. Okay, this is FP, fluid provide, and that is good to go. Okay, I don't know exactly what I did in that whole kerfuffle, but I screwed something up. So now what we need is F provider extension. I would pay for something where the rotation of the whole book happens together. Wouldn't that be so cool? Because it like remembers the last rotation that you did. And that ends up being really unhelpful for a book like this, because you end up with random rotations of everything. And it'd be so nice if they could all be rotated the same way. Like a global book rotation, rather than each individual blueprint gets remembered for what it was rotated like. Anyway, which one am I actually doing? F provider extension. There we go. And we're doing tar. Who knows where tar is? Where is tar? There it is. And then natural gas. Which, yeah, that's the one. Okay, and now we can throw in another one of these, and one of those, and one of those. And then we'll have to hook it up to the combinator. Okay, and then the tar, we will want to pump. Let's get both of these kind of pumped into from the side over here. I guess I want that one there. And then okay. So I'll go up there and get that part done. I do need a, what's it called? Natural gas derrick. And then I probably need like what? A washer, a soil extractor, and a separator. I can't remember what we needed. Hopefully I have enough stuff for building the oh gosh. I think I would have dodged the train if it had turned in there. I think we would have been okay. Anyway, what am I talking about? To get the drilling fluid stuff. Ooh. Still learning how to drive this thing. Okay. Anyway, oh, you know what? We need another one of these as well. Okay, so this is going to be tar plus nat gas. Fluid provide. And then we just extend these up. Ours on the left, I think. And then nat gas over here. Okay, and then here we go. Natural gas. How did it know I wanted a natural gas derrick compared to a tar extractor? Did it like search what was in my inventory? Also, these look really high tech. It's interesting. It looks more high tech than the tar extractor, in my opinion. This looks like something we would need red circuits or blue circuits even to build. Well, regardless, we need drilling fluid 1, and I have to remember how to do that. And then we probably need to be done with the episode once we get this set up. Sand, soil, clay. That's right. We need the steam in the clay pit. Okay, good. I can craft one. And then I need the washer, and I need the soil extractor. Okay, I think that's all correct. And then what was that made in? I didn't check that part. It's made in a mixer. Oh, thank God. So glad we can make one. All right. So we'll get the mixer. Oh, but that's using my washer. I can make another washer. Okay. So then we've got water going out there. And then that goes into a soil extractor that needs soil, which goes into a washer, which is washing soil to sand. Also needs water. And then let's see, power. This all hooked up. Okay, so that's all good. And then the soil needs to go. I'm just trying to remember, did we need soil for this too? Yeah, we need soil for both. So we feed the soil in there, we feed the soil in there. Sand. I could set this all up for direct insert, but this is so much easier. I'll just spaghetti it. It's a very temporary thing. And then the muddy sludge needs to go bye-bye. And then we need the clay, which is a clay pit with steam. So we'll feed that. And then we need a boiler with water attached. Okay, I think that's it. And then we need to do something very weird here, which is go over here. Yeah, we like spaghettied this about as much as possible. It's wonderful. But it works. Boom. All right, it's running. I wonder if the 40, yeah, the productivity does work for this, which is kind of nice. All right, well, we're gonna have to call it an episode there, but we're getting natural gas started, and once that's done, then we can hook it up to this pipeline, and we should be getting plenty of natural gas. And I need to make the tanks, and then we'll be good to go over here. Sweet. All right, well, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.